Hello everyone, welcome to class. Today we're looking at data types in TypeScript. Alright, what are data types in TypeScript? So first of all, look at what is a data type. A data type is the classification of data that tells the compiler or interpreter how the data will be used in the program. Alright, so a data type is the classification of different data that tells the compiler or the interpreter how this data will be used. Alright, so it impacts data type is what gives the interpreter the notion or the know-how of how a particular data will be used. All right, I'll be looking at different data type in TypeScript. So looking at the number data type, looking at the string data type, looking at the Boolean data type, looking at the null and undefined data type, we're looking at any data type, looking at unknown data type, and we'll be looking at the array data type, and finally looking at the object data type. So let's begin first of all with the number data type. Here is used for numerical values. All right, let's begin with the number. Here it is used for numerical value. All right, here you can say okay, like let age. So when you assign is numerical value, you can say let age. I know we're using TypeScript, so we assign the type age, which is number, be equals to 50. All right. So this is the number data type. When you assign numeric value, integers and decimals to a particular variable or a constant, this is an example of number data type. All right. So next, looking at the string data type, it's used for text. Text represents characters. The string data type characters which can include alphabets and also symbols, all right, can include alphabet and symbols. All of them are classified as string, and as such, they are written inside of a quotation mark. String are written inside of a quotation mark. So come here, we'll say, okay, let's, so this is TypeScript, so we have to be assigning the type to them, okay? We'll say, okay, let's, my name, all right, let my name be equal to, all right, a string, which is Emmanuel. All right. So we need to assign a particular type to this. So we'll come here and assign, okay, my name would be a string. Very importantly, be a string. So assign a particular type of string. So yeah, this is the string data type. So here it has to do with text, which can include characters, alphabetical characters, and also you can include symbols also. Like I can have like this is still a string, still part of a string. I can have it intertwined with a number. All these are part of it as strings. All right. So strings are written. Strings is has the mark of the quotation mark. All right. Strings are written inside the quotation mark. So it can be either inside a double string or a double quotation mark or a single quotation mark. But just make sure you are consistent with the one you want to use. So thirdly, we're looking at the Boolean data type. This has to do with represent any data that is true or false. All right, the Boolean data type. Any data that is true or false is classified under the Boolean data type. You can come and say, okay, let is beautiful. All right, so we'll assign what data type it will assign bool. All right, so as soon as we're assigning a particular type to a data to a variable, a constant, that's the only data it's going to receive. So we can say, okay, let is beautiful be equals to true. All right, good. So it can be true or it can be false. So like this, false. So this is what Boolean data type is all about. So the next is the null. All right, the null data type is an intentional, yeah, I'll use the word intentional absence of value. When you intentionally create a variable, a constant, and you don't want to assign a value to it, and you don't want it to be empty, so you can assign the null data type. I can say, okay, this is the null here. Come and say, okay, the null data type. Let a, all right, the null. So assign a particular data type to it because to now we now have the null here assigned to it. All right. So this is the null data type. Is an intentional absence of value. Very, very important. Very, very important in coding. An intentional absence of value. So next we're going to the undefined data type. The undefined data type. Here you don't assign any value to it. Variable declared but not assigned to a value or a data. It's not assigned to a value or a data. You come out the undefined here. The undefined, the undefined data type. Here you can create variable. I can say okay, let be assign a type of undefined to it and say be equals to undefined. All right. This is the undefined data type. All right. So here is an intentional. There's no value attached to it. All right. There's no value attached to it. Let's even console log and see how it's going to run on our browser. Console.log b. All right. So let's see what it's going to look like here. So we'll come here. Let's reload this. So for us to be able to see, we need to run the compiler so that I can convert it to JavaScript for. So we'll come here, tsc script.ts. Don't look at the terminal here, tsc script.ts. So go there, it runs the code. Come here, see it has run, see undefined here. So let's see what undefined is on the browser. We'll go to the browser and see. Reload, undefined. See, no value is attached to it. No value is what is attached to it. This is undefined. So the next data type is the any data type. So the any data type here, you can assign any value or any data to a variable or a constant. All right, but for me, I think the any assign a particular data like assigning the data type of any is defeating the sole purpose of TypeScript, which is for type safety or for assigning types. All right, so I would really discourage assigning the undefined to any assigning the type of any data type any data type. All right. So you come and say click on let data be assigned a type of any. But so it can be so it means that this can either contain hello, which is a string. Let me say okay, a string here can contain hello. All right. It can contain any data type. So let me console log this so we can see this on our browser console.log data. So come and run this here on our browser. So let's go to our terminal browser. Hello, all right. So with the any here, you can assign any since the type is any, you can assign any data type. So you can come here and say, okay, let data be equals to a number. No need of let anymore. I've already declared. I just want to assign a value. I'll say data equals to 400. So I'm assigning a data type of number. Let's see. Reload this again. Quality again. Come here, reload. Okay, so let me run this again. All right, so good. So let's go and reload it on our browser here. 400. Normally, the sole aim of TypeScript is so that you can you can assign types. All right. So using the data type of any is trying to defeat the sole purpose of TypeScript itself. So using data type of any is highly discouraged. All right. It's highly discouraged. So the next data type we're looking at is the unknown data type. All right. The unknown data type. So this is a safer alternative to any. It's even safer where you just assign an unknown data, like assign a, well, let's say, just assign a data type of unknown so you can receive any kinds of data. So something like I can come here and say, okay, let my value be equal to, okay, be assigned the variable of unknown. So equals to hello. So here there's no specific data type assigned to this. So it's a safer alternative to the any. So but they work almost similarly. So the next is the array data type. We know the array data type. So the array is a collection of items attached to a single variable. Collection of items attached to a single variable. The items can either contain multiple data type or a particular or a single type of data. All right. So let's proceed and say, okay, let my array be equal to let my array be equals to okay, so we need to assign a type to can just say array be equal to number. So if you want to, let's say this is a number array, so it contains number only. So this is it. All right. So equal to so this will contain only numbers. You can someone say 20, 30, 40, 50. Let's try to so that we can add any string here. Emmanuel, you see, we're already having an error because we typed this particular array to receive only number. But there are cases where you can define it to receive both numbers, letters, both numbers and string data. All right, but we need to start talking about the union. That's another concept in TypeScript. So this is not that's not captured in this class. So let's work with what we have here. All right, so this is it. Good. All right, so we can create an array that will receiving only a string data type, a string data type. All right, so like this. So this now will be receiving string. Okay, let me make this one. Sorry, so they are different. So come here, Manuel, John, John. Yeah. So this defined or initialized to receive the string data as the items in the array. So if I come and say, okay, let me ask 50, I'll be having an error here. Let me see what the error will say. Type number is not assignable to this type string. So you cannot use a type number when this array is assigned to string. This array is supposed to receive only strings, all right? So that is it. So finally, we'll be looking at sorry, this is for arrays. So finally, we're looking at object, all right? So object in there. So object in TypeScript. So let's create an object here and see. So come and say, okay, const person, right, is equal to, then we have our object bracket here. And say, okay, name John, John, comma. We say age 40, comma. Then we say okay, gender male. So after every these objects are made up of properties. Object are entities. Sorry, I didn't talk about that. Object are entities that contains key value pairs. So you have to do it contains properties and what and their values. All right. So object are entities that contain key value pairs. So here the name is the property. Why this is the value? Object has properties and values. All right. It has property. Take note. They have property and value. They have a unique bracket. This is the unique object bracket. The unique object bracket. And after every pattern and value is separated from the other with a comma. If you remove this command, I discover that if you're having an error here, so very important you don't forget inserting your comma when creating an object. So this is creating an object, but this object, looking at it now, is not typed. All right. So how do we type object? So we can type object by determining what each property, what value, what is the data type each property of the object can receive. All right, or should receive. So come if you want to type it, look at what we're going to do here. We'll come here because we'll say, okay, person in person, all right? So this is like typing. So here, name must be a what? Must be a string. Must be a string, comma, and say, okay, age must be a number, must be a number, then comma, gender must be what? Must be a string also. So gender must be a string also. You're seeing that, right? Gender must be what? Must be a string also. Let me see, I'm having an error here. Type me is not assigned to type string. Okay, gender. Oh, so sorry. I'm not supposed to have put that. Okay, as I've corrected myself. So this is it, string. So here I've determined. So if you come and say on this mail and put a number here of 50, you'll be having an error here. You tell you that okay, type number is not assignable to a type string. Did you get it? So this is this number, the gender type, the kind of data type that the gender receive as a value must be a string. So you cannot assign. So this is properly typed. All right. So this is how we type data type our data in TypeScript. All right. So okay, let me correct this foregoing. So we'll come back here. This will be a mail. All right. So perfect. Thank you for joining. See you another time.